I was like, I don't know if that's right.
Fragile.
It's alive! It's alive!
A creature like that, how would it ever die?
And this monster starts running right at me.
Annihilated by nuclear bombs.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
Why, you're crazy.
But I saw that monster too. All I want is for someone to believe me.
Contaminated.
Face. Horrible. Look like it would scare you to death.
All right, let's get to work.
Hey, and Worlds is here. Hello, friends. How are you, Worlds? Everything running correctly? I need to double check. We're having weird connectivity issues. Not connectivity issues tonight, but just weird issues.
Hello, you absolute beauties.
How are you?
Hello, lovely.
I think we're good. Yeah, it looks like we're good over here.
Oh, I feel like great.
All the better for seeing you too, obviously.
Hey, all right.
We are better for seeing your little name pop up on the screen.
First thing every week. Welcome, Worlds. Before we sidetrack, let me do my little intro. Sorry, I'm still
Ghost.
ghost. I scared myself with it earlier. Let's do this intro. Let's do it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. For more than a century, people have claimed that something impossible has been circling our planet. It's been called an alien probe, an ancient surveillance satellite, even a 13,000-year-old piece of machinery silently watching humanity from orbit. The story connects Nikola Tesla, secret military devices, strange radio signals, and one of NASA's most famous photographs. But is there really something up there? Or has one of the greatest UFO legends ever told been built from decades of coincidences, misunderstandings, and internet mythology? Tonight, on Beyond the Shadows podcast, we are discussing the Black Knight satellite.
Way to throw me off. I thought we were talking about ghosties tonight.
I tried to, I threw you a curveball.
Yeah.
I threw you a curveball.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I was looking through the list of possible subjects for tonight's episode last night, and it's like, I need to do ghosts, and I'm like thumbing through the ghost stories. It's like, nothing's just like really clicking. I was like, I need something with a good mystery that, it's got to be ear catching, right? That's the whole point of the podcast, is to get people to enjoy themselves. And I was like, you know what? I bet she doesn't even know what the Black Knight is.
I don't.
This is crazy. This is really crazy. This is one of the first quote unquote conspiracy theories I've ever subscribed to. If you could call it a conspiracy theory, it depends on, how you define a conspiracy theory, obviously, but
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to learn.
this is cool. We have photo evidence from NASA.
Ooh.
So this one's got some deep roots.
Yeah.
Some deep roots. Hello, friends. Welcome to Beyond the Shadows podcast. This is season 3, episode 28. Tonight we are discussing the Black Knight satellite. Is it an alien probe? Is an alien probe really orbiting Earth? Welcome, everybody. My name is Victus.
I'm Hazel.
Good morning, good evening, night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. This is Beyond the Shadows podcast. We are your personal, professional paranormal investigators, and this is the greatest paranormal podcast in the world. As long as you don't fact check it.
Your photographic evidence.
Yes, I am. This is where we record a live show, one take, no edits, and try to figure out if this week's case is really paranormal or just bullshit. Hazel, how are you doing?
Doing okay. I am very full. Had an amazing dinner and an amazing lunch. It's really hard when you have like dietary restrictions to eat
Yeah.
the things that you love. But we found a way for me to eat hot dogs today, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Really good ones too.
Yeah, so I had like a million hot dogs, and so I don't think I can move
I think
properly.
We
So
both almost ate an entire pack of hot dogs ourselves.
I did eat the whole pack of mine. I don't have any more, but there are only 4 in there.
Oh,
But,
I think mine had. Geez, I ate 5.
yeah,
Ugh, I
yeah.
think there's 2 left. 2 left, 1 left, something like that. My eyes, they
Mine
burn.
were like chicken, sausage, apple
Yeah.
stuff that didn't have red meat in it, and it was nice.
Worlds, how are you doing tonight? I'm way off camera. Jeez, I'm getting too
How are
comfy.
you doing, Victus? Well,
Oh,
while we
I'm-
wait on Worlds. to
I'm doing
respond.
okay. I'm tired. It was a very long work week for me this week, and you know, I always look forward to just sitting down here for a couple hours, sitting still for a couple hours. The only thing we got to worry about is this and bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
So, as always, it's very wonderful to be here tonight. I really look forward to you hearing this case because I really don't know how you're going to take this one.
Ooh, okay.
Because this one is the evidence really leans both ways, and it really comes down to personal opinion. So I really hope you're going to enjoy this one tonight. I really do.
Okay.
Trying to
I
get my
always enjoy
energy
hanging
up.
out with you.
Say again?
I always enjoy hanging out with you.
Oh yeah, with my sweet
I got
bedazzled
only
microphone.
2 hours sleep last night, so hopefully I'll sleep
Ooh.
well
Oh
tonight.
no!
Gross. If I would have known you were up so late, I would have hung out with you a little bit because I was up and bored.
Yeah,
I wanted to hang out
you
and
really
play some
wanted to
big
play
games.
that cat game.
Yeah, that cat post office game. F was wanting to play it last night, or said he was wanting to play it last week or week before, and it hasn't been released yet. I think it just released Friday, so he's already got like 6-8 hours of gameplay, so I'm sure he's been playing with friends, but he didn't play last night, so
You were very disappointed when you went to sleep.
it's okay. I was tired. I went into Valheim, built some stuff. Surprise!
Right. Victus made me a little. Well, he made us a little bench in Valheim. Sit on,
Oh,
even though
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
play, but he little bench.
That's right. We have our own little bench, our own little spot. Yeah, I need to get Worlds. I need to get you in there to the building server. Those 2 mods that I suggested are to get you to have dev commands so you can fly and build without having any physical material requirements. It should work. I mean, it works on my end, but I'm on my own server, so I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know how well the connection would work coming all the way from Australia to connect to our server here, but I don't know. I'm assuming it doesn't take that much data
Magic.
transfer. Magic. It really is magic. Do you ever think about that? Like video games, like Call of Duty. Back when I was playing Call of Duty, I would think about it all the time. I'm like, geez, the amount of logistical information, 32 people shooting at each other, all these things flying through the air, and we're just transferring this data like it's nothing. I think about too much shit. I really do. Any
That's
hoots.
funny.
So yeah, it was a good week. I got some good overtime. We'll say that.
Yeah.
I got good overtime. Hopefully next week. Well, no, I got to work next weekend too. So, meet merp. That's all right. Well, I guess we can jump off into this week's news and paranormal. Are you ready for that?
Ready? Ready? I'm ready.
All right, everybody, it's time for this week's News and Paranormal, the part of the show where we dig through the latest stories from around the world involving UFOs, ghosts, cryptids, archaeology, and everything else that makes you question what's really going on. Not every headline turns out to be paranormal, but every once in a while, there is a story that makes even the skeptics stop and take a second look. We rounded up some of the newest and most interesting reports from this weekend. As always, we'll let you decide what deserves to stay in the shadows. Let's check it out. Well, first up, just like last week, we got Pentagon releases a new batch UAP files. But, I mean, obviously it's the biggest story in paranormal this week. So the Pentagon released another collection of previously unreleased UAP files. The latest release includes dozens of documented videos, audio recordings, and images gathered from agencies including the Department of Defense, NASA, and the CIA, the FBI, and the Department of Energy. One report comes from a military aviator with nearly 3 decades of flying experience who described encountering an object that was, quote, unlike anything I had seen, end quote. While none of the newly released material confirms extraterrestrial technology, every release adds more data for researchers to analyze. It's another sign that the governments are continuing to move slowly towards greater transparency surrounding UAP investigations.
Ancient protective marks may finally have an explanation. For years, the strange carved symbols found on centuries-old buildings across England have been described as mysterious witch marks, believed to protect homes from evil spirits. Now researchers think they may finally understand why so many of these carvings appear in similar locations. Rather than random graffiti, evidence suggests they were intentionally carved near fireplaces, windows, and doorways, places once believed to be entry points for supernatural forces. Whether you believe in paranormal or not, it's a fascinating glimpse into just how seriously our ancestors took the idea of unseen entities sharing the world around them. Maybe that's why some people didn't get Santa Claus come into their house. They had something carved at the chip.
Yep. True. We touched a little bit of the lore back in season 1, right around Christmas. We talked about some of the Christmas traditions and why. It might be worth touching on again this year around Christmas.
Ooh.
I didn't do one last year, but we'll do one this year. Now, next up, we have a new photograph revives lake monster mystery. A newly surfaced photograph is bringing fresh attention to Nahuelito, the legendary lake monster said to inhabit Argentina's massive lake, Nahuel Huapi. Thank you. I think I hit that one. I think I got that one right the first time. Witnesses claim the image appears to show a large object breaking the surface far from shore. As always, skeptics suggest waves, floating debris, or an optical illusion, while believers argue it's among clear images associated with the creature in recent years. Whether it's another case of mistaken identity or something genuinely unknown, lake monster reports continue to appear from every corner of the globe, not just Scotland's Loch Ness.
Scientists continue searching for more potentially habitable worlds. Astronomers say a nearby super-Earth may be more capable of supporting life than previously believed. Updated observations suggest the planet could possess conditions favorable for liquid water and perhaps an atmosphere capable of supporting life. It's far too early to claim anything definitive, but discoveries like this remind us that our galaxy is filled with billions of worlds we have only just begun to study. Every new discovery raises the same question: if life can exist elsewhere, are we eventually going to find evidence that we're not alone?
Question mark. And finally, private UFO retrieval program is back in the spotlight. Claims that private aerospace companies have participated in the recovery and study of unidentified craft are once again making headlines. The renewed discussion doesn't provide new physical evidence, but it reflects how the conversation around UAPs has shifted over the last few years. Questions that were once dismissed outright are now being discussed more openly by journalists, researchers, and even government officials. Whether these claims ultimately prove true or not, the public appetite for answers doesn't appear to be slowing down at any time soon. And those are this week's biggest stories from around the paranormal world and the unexplained, whether it's newly released UAP files, centuries-old protective symbols, mysterious creatures appearing in distant lakes, or discoveries that could reshape our understanding of life. One thing remains true: there's never a shortage of strange things happening. If any of those stories caught your attention, let us know what you think in chat. We'd love to hear which headline you think deserves a deeper investigation in a future episode. All right. Cool. I guess World's is excited about the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we did, well, hold on. I have the sheet thing now. I can do this. I can look up episodes. I always forget that,
Oh, you did Krampus already, huh?
yeah. Krampus was one of them. Oh, dear David, I really wanted that to be, there you go, Christmas Folklore and Krampus, oh my. Season
Oh.
1, episode 27.
I know Whitney would enjoy Krampus. Friend Whitney. Our
That was a
friend
good-
Whitney.
Yeah. You would, I think
I
she...
guess she's our friend now.
Yes, our friend. I think she did comment on that. That was back when...
Today is her wife's birthday.
Oh,
Happy, or not, I don't know if it's today, but it's this weekend for sure. So happy birthday, Gwen.
happy birthday. Confetti.
Yay.
What are you doing, Mouse? What are you doing?
Sometimes Whitney listens later, so I feel like that's...
There you go, Gwen. Happy belated birthday if you're listening. Yes, thank you, Worlds, for your participation. Oh, I'm struggling to get my energy up. I'm so tired today. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
We just
Happy
had coffee.
birthday.
Yay!
I had a good thick cup
Thank
of
you,
coffee before we got started, and
Yeah.
I was hoping that was going to drive me up, but
I did too, but I think the problem was I ate too many hot dogs.
I think it's the same for me. My tongue is full, and now I want to go into the blanket coma.
I really want to be a competitive eater, but I don't want to like... Thank you, Worlds. Poor Worlds. Worlds has had 2 hours of sleep, and we're over here like...
We're complaining about having too much food in our
"Oh,
stomachs.
Hugs back to you, Worlds.
Thanks, Worlds. Thank you so much.
I will fax over some blankets.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We love us some blankets.
We're millennials, so we know how to use fax machines.
Yes, we do.
The last generation who knows how to use a fax machine.
Okay, so cool thing. There's a thing going around. So you know that I'm like into like the backroom stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we know the movie's coming out, or if it had, I think it might have already come out.
It's already come out, which we really need to watch it.
So there was an ad floating around YouTube that if you catch it, you could get, it's like a commercial for like a furniture store. And it like a phone number flashes across the bottom of the screen, and everybody thought it was a phone number. So everybody tried calling it, and it gave them like a weird busy signal, and then it would give them like a weird like landline connection sound, and nobody could figure out what was going on. And as soon as I heard recording of what happened when you called, I was like, the fax number, why are they
Yeah.
calling the fax number? So if you contact that number via fax,
Yay, fax noise.
so if you contact that number via fax, you got like a cryptic message from the back rooms
Oh,
faxed
that's
back to you.
cool. That's cool.
So I thought that was pretty neat.
It'd be really neat to like, well, do you also remember the noise that would happen if you called and somebody was on dial-up internet?
Oh yeah, yeah. We were an AOL household, so I get it. Yeah.
And my parents are divorced, so I would sometimes call the other parent, you know, just to check in during the week, because
Yeah.
I'd stay 1 week at mom, 1 week at dad. And so sometimes I'd call my mom's house, and she'd be like on the internet, and you know, and back then I didn't have the mental capacity to then call later and be like, "What you doing on the internet, mom?" Totally should have done that though.
Yeah, times have changed. I think
Should have been like printing coupons.
that's probably what she was doing too. I know it. I know she's a coupon clipper. I know it. I just realized half the lights aren't even on in here today.
That's okay.
I'm way off my game. You can't even see the lights that aren't on, so it's fine. I'm way off my game. I wanted to bedazzle my microphone so badly.
You did spend a lot of time doing that before we got started.
Now I need like a little light just to shine on my microphone.
I
So it's-
bedazzled my my pill
your
container.
7-day pill organizer. Yep, we're getting old.
I bedazzled it because I saw somebody else on the internet did it, and I was like, "Man, that's actually really cool. Let me just bedazzle my pill container."
It does look swanky.
Thank you. With my Nephilim eyeballs on the back.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
I wanted it to be a conversation piece. Something to be like, this dude, this weird dude, gets on there and he's got a bedazzled microphone. It's fine. It's cool.
Love it.
Bedazzle everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally cool. It's totally cool. I'll eventually wrap like the mic stand and everything, because I bought like a pack of these like pre-sticky bedazzles. I don't know what you'd call them, jewels, I guess.
Yeah, Jules.
And I thought I would use them all just to do the microphone. We'll come to find out there's 3 sheets, and I didn't even use a whole sheet on this.
Yeah.
I don't want to put any on this
Dip the
side.
owl in glitter.
Oh no, the devil's herpes.
He doesn't like glitter.
We don't do glitter here. No,
When
no.
I used to make jewelry, I had to have a glitter vacuum.
Oh my gosh, it was
Because
glitter
it
everywhere
really
all
was
the
glitter
time.
everywhere.
All the time.
I'm really surprised you didn't divorce me then.
I call it the devil's herpes. It gets everywhere for no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever. Anywho, it's glad everybody's here tonight. We're gonna have some fun. I hope not too many people know about the Black Knight. I know you don't, so I'm really looking forward to your reaction. Worlds, do you know about the Black Knight? I'm just curious. And I'm guessing it's James, and we've got another in YouTube land. I'm curious, anybody in YouTube, have y'all heard about the Black Knight? Don't cheat. Don't Google it. Don't cheat.
No idea.
Everybody's
oh, sweet.
like, ooh, Batman.
Yeah, so this was like, I heard about this one back in the 90s. Like, I don't know why, because it's like it hit everybody's radar and then dropped off. Like nobody wanted to talk about it, but we weren't getting any like
That's how you
good
know
answers.
it's real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how you know it's real. We weren't getting any like good answers about it, so it's like they want to debunk Bigfoot, and they want to debunk UFOs, and they want to debunk, Chupacabra, and they want to
Nessie.
debunk Loch Ness, but nobody talks about the Black Knight. Oh,
Bum, bum, bum.
let me-
So, speaking of, who'd you call this week?
who did I call? Indeed, I had to look up his name before we started, so I got it right. I called retired U.S. Marine Corps Major Donald Kehoe.
Mm. Dun, dun.
And Donald Kehoe, so if you're familiar with UFO lore and some of the other things, he's prominent in UFO circles. I didn't know that he was the first person to report the Black Knight. Apparently he was. And if you know, like basic lore about UFOs and like especially the stuff going on with whistleblowing, Kehoe is a big name. You're going to hear a lot about Kehoe. He's retired, but apparently he had his fingers in the UFO pie early on and nobody believed him. So I called Donald Kehoe.
Asked him for a pizza pie.
Let me do my thing. Hold on here.
Got his fingers in it. What was that question?
I have so much fun with that.
I love how silly you are.
Thank you. With our new edition, I got a new Funko Pop this week. I got Derpy. Was that his name? Derpy?
Derpy and Sussy.
Derpy and Sussy from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Which is funny because we've actually been looking for that one for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been like actively looking for it every time we go in our Walmart because they have all the
Mhm.
the ladies, you know, which is fine. But we really like this character in
Yeah.
particular, and it came with a tiny
Yeah.
little plant that he
It
knocks
came with
over.
a little flower pot.
Little flower pot. So Victus had it sitting up nice, and I knocked it over because I feel like that's
No,
how
that's the way it should be.
Derpy
That's-
would want it.
That was his thing in the show, was
yeah, he knocked
fixing,
it over.
wasn't it? He was knocking stuff over and then fixing it.
Well, specifically the flower pot.
Yeah. But it was funny because we've been looking for it for like 2 months now,
Yeah.
and we were looking at different shelves, and we pulled it out at the same time,
We
and I was like,
did?
"Hey, look, Derpy!" Yeah. So, let me get my leg down.
Show them your cool shirt.
Yeah, my cool shirt. I made a shirt. It's not like special for this week, not like last week, but it is from one of my favorite. I'm gonna start, if I can't find a shirt to wear that I'm like, this is the one, I'm gonna start making them. I'm gonna start making shirts because I enjoy wearing a different shirt.
Plus, you
what's-
get to put the Beyond the Shadows podcast.
yeah,
on
yeah.
it.
That's the big thing
When
is
you
I
wear
want
it
to be able to wear
around.
shirts for the podcast when we go somewhere.
Yeah. Some people be like, "Oh, what's that podcast?"
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Well, look at it here."
It's a plan. We'll see how long
Yeah.
it takes. You know, I'm only just now seeing people take pictures of the back of my car. I love it. It's my favorite thing when I stop at a stoplight and I look in my rearview mirror and there's somebody sitting in the passenger seat holding up their phone, trying to scan the QR code for the podcast on the back of my car. For those that don't know, I have a huge QR code in the top of my windshield in the back.
Here is my collection of 872 shirts.
Yeah, it's becoming that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have piles of shirts, piles and piles of shirts.
Yeah.
I have more than enough to wear a different one every day of the year.
When we were considering getting a new house, we were looking at one house that had like a lot of closet space. That would have been mostly yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, enough dilly-dally. I'm going to show you this dope-ass shirt. So this is back, hold on before I show it off. Let me give a harken back to the episode it came from, because I can look up the episodes now. You see what I mean? It's just a little slow tonight. Nothing's lagging or anything.
The Hodag episode, I thought it said hot dog.
You got hot dogs on the mind.
Yeah.
Season
Easily,
3. Oh yeah, so this is early season 3 this year.
Okay.
Season 3, episode 5, the fourth kind. By far our most popular episode. The reels I pulled from it did phenomenally well. The video itself has the highest numbers out of all of our episodes. And
Nice.
it is the only episode that we have covered since the beginning that has legitimately freaked me out and gave me nightmares after doing the investigation. So, submitted to you for the approval of the Midnight Society, my fourth kind t-shirt.
Ooh.
It's not an owl, it's something else.
Are you
So-
allowed to have a pet owl, or is that like against
Yeah,
the law?
you have to have a license to do it, but
I should get a pet owl.
no. No. You'd be living outside because they
The
got to be
owls are
outside.
not what they seem.
No, they're not. That's actually one of my favorite quotes from the investigation. Was the guy was under regression hypnosis, and he kept coming up with the owls, the owls, the owls. And then once he was under hypnosis, he said, "The owls, they're not what they seem." It was my favorite quote.
Oh.
So a little bit of custom designing there, and I don't know if you. I guess you need to watch the movie.
Yeah, probably.
They did a phenomenal job with the movie. It's so good. It is so good. It is so good.
I have a cool shirt too.
Let's see it.
Only because I got it today. A Spice Girl.
I only know it from Twin Peaks.
I didn't know.
I was an official Spice Girls Club member in 1998.
Zigga
yeah.
zigga.
I was a member of two.
I was like, what?
I was a member of two Spice Girls clubs when I was in
Ooh.
elementary school because I was like one of the only redheads in school. So, got to recruit Ginger,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I didn't, the only time I listened to Spice Girls, so let me show my age here. Only time I listened to Spice Girls is when I was listening to my CD. Now That's What I Call Music Volume 1. Volume 1.
Oh, they got volume 1. That's very exciting for them.
What are they on now? Let's see.
So, we also have the Spice World movie on VHS. And I had this on cassette tape. Their first album, I had it on cassette tape. My first CD, though, was Joan Osborne's Relish.
That was your first CD?
That's my first CD. So if you're familiar with the song What If God Was One of Us,
Yes.
that's on that one. But I think that
Oh my God.
my father thought that she was like a religious singer because of the title of that song.
Yeah.
She is not.
No.
That album is very risque for a small child.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So I listened, and I was there 1,000 years ago
There.
at the beginning. Now That's What I Call Music Volume 1. Look at what volume they're on now. Wait, we got, yeah, it's working. Now That's What I Call Music Volume 89. And
I was also there in the beginning.
And I only listened to Volume 1. Oh my gosh.
I will say, while we were at Walmart today, and I was looking at shirts, trying to figure out what to get. Well, I knew what I was going to get. But we also spotted Backstreet Boys t-shirts.
Yep.
Which Backstreet Boys is the first concert I went to. I was in 5th grade, and my mom won tickets. Either my mom or one of her friends won tickets, and we all went. And
Oh my God.
I can remember, I didn't tell you this today. I can remember, like, it went really quiet when they came out for just a second. And I screamed, "I love you, AJ," at the top of my little 8-year-old lungs. Well, today, we were looking at shirts at Walmart, and Victus pointed out how far back his hairline was at that time. And I did not realize that, which, I mean, I have a 5 head. I have a giant forehead.
Dude was very prematurely balding, and
Yeah.
nobody paid attention to it.
Not at all. Not in the slightest.
We need to pull up a picture of AJ.
I mean, we totally could.
All right, we'll do
But
it.
you know what's funny is that,
That was AJ, right?
yeah. I mean, you don't have the hairline, but you do have, like, some AJ vibes. Oh my gosh. Holy hair gel.
Yeah. Dude's hairline was way back there. Ugh. Oh, jeez. He pulled it off, though. Kudos to him.
Yeah. And you know, good for him, because he ended up like he went through some stuff. He went through some stuff, and then he pulled himself out of that stuff, and he ended up doing really much better once he
Refined.
was clean. You know?
Yeah, he did it. He did good.
And I
He
think
bounced back.
bounced back, and I think that's good. I never was a Nick Carter fan. Never. I never went,
The
"Oh my
only time I
gosh,
cared
Nick
about
Carter's
Nick Carter
so
is when he
cute."
died. I was like, oh,
No,
damn.
that's not Nick. It was his little brother.
Oh, what was
Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he went through some, unfortunately, had some addiction.
Yeah, he had
But
some problems.
I can't imagine what it would be like to
He got
grow
caught up in the
up-
machine. That's what
Yeah.
happened to him.
To grow up and like from the time you're a child to be stuck in that nonsense. That's awful.
So I listened to one quote-unquote boy band. Let's see. I think I got this name right. He wasn't really a boy band, but he did a solo album. Joey McIntyre. I
Yeah.
listened to Joey McIntyre. There it was. Did you hear it?
Yep. Did.
It must be the tablet. It must be.
It must be.
Yeah, Joey
It started
McIntyre
last
put out a really good song way back when, like early 2000s, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is so cool. This is like the vibe I'm going for. Like everybody's having fun at like a carnival and a music video, and I'm gonna give it to you. Is that what it was?
I don't remember.
Now I gotta know. Which one was it? Oh, geez. Let's see all of his albums. Geez, he put out some albums, didn't he? Of course, he did a Christmas album. Meet Joe Mac.
I don't remember any of these.
I'll have to deep dive it
Just
later.
gonna have to believe.
Yeah, it was cool. Like they were all like dancing at like a carnival, and it was like a Ferris wheel in the background, and it was fun. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
The
But
late 90s, early 2000s were such a special time to be alive. Because,
absolutely,
like, I understand that there are music videos today, whatever, right? But back then,
they're barely music videos today.
music videos were created in such a way that you always imagined, like, being in it with the
Yeah.
person. Like,
Yeah.
you could immerse yourself imaginatively into these videos. But it was such a, I don't know, all-encompassing experience because we didn't have everything at our fingertips.
It was all more special.
It was.
Exactly.
Like, I have very distinct special memories of sitting in front of the box television surrounded by an entertainment center,
Mm-hmm.
watching VH1, and MTV still had music videos too, so I would switch back and forth between VH1 and MTV in the commercial breaks in the morning before school and eat my Pop-Tarts.
Oh, you
And
would
I
have
would
the.
stay right in front of the TV until the amount of time it took because, y'all, I walked to school uphill both ways in the snow. No, I'm kidding, but I really did walk to school. So I had to wait until I got I had to leave at a certain time or I was going to be late. And I would watch those videos. And if I still could eat Pop-Tarts today, like the last time I ate a Pop-Tart,
100%.
I still get flashbacks to sitting on that couch watching those music videos. Velvet Revolver specifically for
Yeah.
some reason, but yeah.
It's wild that kids today just don't understand how hard it was, especially. So I was a mixtape kid.
Yeah.
I always kept a fresh tape in the cassette, in the deck. That way, if that song come on the radio, I could smash record right quick. Hey, look, reach up there and grab that stack of tapes on the left.
Oh goodness.
Do it. This is my space. The left one, the left stack. Yeah. I think I should have one of my old mixtapes. It's fine.
No?
That's okay. I think I have one of my old mixtapes in here. Oh no, I don't. I don't know where they are.
There's a few mixtapes of me floating around in the world singing karaoke too.
Oh gosh, yeah, I did that too.
Because I thought I was gonna be a Spice Girl.
They're here somewhere. I didn't
Actually,
get rid
I
of
thought I
them.
was gonna be Avril Lavigne.
Cassette
It may
tapes.
as well be being downloaded directly into our brains at this point.
Right?
I was a cassette tape kid. Yeah, yeah. I think it was I think that blue one's like Matchbox 20 or Santana or something. Oh, is it really?
Fine, it's Tom Petty.
Oh wait, hit on the tape deck below you. Down below the record player. Hit eject. Yeah, that's got one of my mixtapes in it. There we go. Handmade mixtape from back in the day. This is my baseline test for my tape deck on my stereo that I got here in the office. You don't have to put it. It's kind of fickle to get it in there. Cool tape deck, right? So for those of you who don't know, I've got the tape deck. When you hit eject, a tray slides out and you pull your tape out the top instead of setting it in the door and then closing it. You just push it. Yep, there you go. You got it. Yeah. Cool little tape deck, isn't it?
Yeah. I was trying to push the whole thing back in. I didn't realize I had to push a button. You got me? Don't run over your hand. Okay, I'm good. Woo! I'm good.
There you go. I brought you back. All right, enough nostalgia for now. But yeah, I was there's one song. Can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but I hear it every now and again on Spotify. That when I hear it, I think of the time I made a mixtape with it and the CD skipped. And every time I hear that song, I'm like waiting for the skip to happen because I listened and listened and listened. I didn't have the CDs, so I just, we didn't burn CDs until much later in life.
We got owls to investigate.
Yes, we got owls to investigate. No owls tonight.
Like, get it together. I need you guys to get it together.
This is it. We need to put together, we need to do like a, so I'm going to float this idea while I got a couple people in here. I was thinking maybe on like a Saturday night, we could do like an after hours podcast. We could do like an after hours podcast where we just talk.
Yeah, we could do that on a Saturday night.
Well, we're not necessarily doing an investigation, but we could just talk.
We probably need to. That sounds like a good idea because then... else it's only got 2 hours of sleep. We need to...
Let's get some professionalism up in this bitch.
All right. Okay. You got it.
Lovely.
Oh, it must be the tablet. Yeah, because that thing, every time I brush against it, it makes noises. Oh, joy, something else I need to buy. Here you go, Worlds. This is for you.
You the best.
Thanks for keeping us on track. But yeah, I was considering doing like an after hours episode, like just stream it on the Discord and then record it so that way we could potentially in the future use it as like a Patreon thing.
I think that's totally fine. I will.
You guys make me smile so much. Thank you.
You make us smile too. I will say that it's kind of funny that we do this a little bit, that we banter like this sometimes and get off track, because we watch a couple of YouTubers who do this little episodes where they investigate haunted places and talk about mysteries, and then there's the debrief episodes where they just talk a bunch of crap, and we always skip those because we're like, oh my gosh, these are terrible.
We hate the banter, but that's all we do. Yeah. Ironic, isn't it?
Gotta keep it together.
So let us know if you're listening to this at a later time and date. Let us know in the comments section, even if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, YouTube, where have you. Let us know in the comments if you'd be interested. We don't make money off of this, but if we did in the future decide to do a Patreon, if we did like an extra episode, like every couple weeks or something, just sitting around talking about whatever, would y'all be interested in that? Would that be worth paying? Like what's Patreon, like $4 or $5 a month?
I don't know. The cheapest version, the cheapest level.
Yeah. I don't want to make money, but, if y'all...
Well, he says that, but...
I say that, but, wouldn't it be great to do this for a living, right? I mean, honestly, isn't
like
it the end game?
Living. Yeah.
Isn't it the end game?
Or at least a half a living.
Or, something to supplement the income. I mean, I poured a lot of money into this podcast.
Yeah.
Every piece of gear you see came out of my pocket. But any hoots, think about it, folks. If
also came out of Basil's pocket.
If you're interested, shoot a comment or what have you, and we'll do whatever. Any hoots.
You get to push buttons all the time before
Biscuit money.
Biscuit money. There you go. Yeah.
Before you do Act 1. Can you give me a Basil bass drop?
Yeah, we'll give you a Basil bass drop. Little buddy's been out all weekend. He's so happy.
Basil bass drop.
Yeah, it's only fair to do the rest of them. Let's do the rest of them.
Surely you mean au revoir? No. Goodbye.
Angel babies.
Turtles, Brussels. What's turtles, huh?
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
And last but not least,
A sweet boy.
little chicken boy. I was thinking about them the other day. All right, jerks. Let's get in it. 45 minutes in, and we haven't even touched Act 1 yet. This is why I shortened the acts, because we're getting into more and more banter, which is fine. I would rather have banter, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, banter's good. Casual conversation is good. I would much rather talk than, I say it all the time, I know I do. I would much rather talk than read from a script, but... So before we get going, you know zero about the Black Knight.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I made a Batman reference earlier, but then I remembered that's the Dark Knight.
It's the Dark Knight.
So I got nothing.
So we do have some photo evidence taken from low Earth orbit. So the International Space Station, I'm pretty sure. It was, I think it was first, well, you know, I'm not gonna get into when it was first spotted, because we're gonna get into that, but this is really interesting. This was the first story that has to do with something completely unexplained that made me scratch my head and say, well, if that's up there, what else in the world is there, right?
Yeah.
This is the story that awoke in my paranormal brain completely, because it was being talked about, but it wasn't being explained. Not like UFOs where they're like, oh, well, it's just experimental aircraft. Brush it off to the side. And then it would say Bigfoot. Oh, it's just misidentified animals or somebody in a ghillie suit. Brush it off to the side. Or, you know, Chupacabra, somebody just trying to get fame. Everything that came up, paranormal speaking, was always explained and then brushed off to the side. But the Black Knight was never really explained. No one ever tried to explain it. Nobody tried to justify it. It was just quietly swept under the rug and nobody talks about it. So I thought it would be a good case for tonight. And I hope, you know, automatically I'm going to assume it's paranormal, but I'm hoping I can get you on my side tonight. I really think this is going to be a good one. So,
Lift up the rug, then.
Lift up the rug. Lift up the freaking rug. Let's get into Act 1, everybody. Y'all ready for Act 1? Are you ready?
Ready. Ready.
All right, let's do it, everybody. Welcome in. Season 3, Episode 28 of Beyond the Shadows podcast. This is The Black Knight. Has an alien probe really been orbiting Earth? This is Act 1, everybody. Act 1. So if you've spent any amount of time exploring UFO lore, you've probably heard the claim before. Somewhere above our heads, silently circling the Earth is an object that doesn't belong to us. It's supposedly ancient, far older than any satellite humanity has ever launched, and according to legend, it's been orbiting our planet for approximately 13,000 years. Quietly observing civilization as it rises and falls. Some believe it's an automated alien probe, others think it's evidence that an advanced civilization visited Earth in a distant past. There are even those who argue governments have known about it for decades and have intentionally kept the truth from the public. It's an incredible story, but before we can decide whether any of it's true, we have to answer a much simpler question. Where did the story actually come from? And one of the reasons the Black Knight satellite has endured for so long is that it doesn't begin with a single event. Unlike Roswell or the Phoenix Lights, there isn't one eyewitness, one night, or one photograph that started everything. Instead, the legend is a patchwork quilt stitched together over more than a century. And each generation added another piece until eventually people began treating the entire collection as a single continuous mystery. Tonight, our story begins in 1899. We're going way back, with one of history's most brilliant and most misunderstood inventors, Nikola Tesla. While conducting high-voltage electrical experiments at his laboratory in Colorado Springs, Tesla began receiving unusual radio signals. At the time, radio communication was still in its infancy. Humanity had only just begun experimenting with transmitting signals through the air, so almost any unexpected transmission was difficult to explain. Tesla described receiving rhythmic pulses that seemed almost intentional. They weren't random bursts of static, they repeated in patterns that caught his attention, and he openly wondered whether they could be coming from
I view as streamboo.com.
Everybody boo the bot. Everybody in chat, give me a boo. Give us a boo. We're gonna boo this person. Sorry, friend. Thanks for, Oh, possible ban evader. Let's report them first. Sorry, friend, but this isn't gonna work. Warn? I'm out. Ban. Banned. Report. Oh.
Did report. Fuck.
Goodbye. Sorry. Thanks for the view. Thanks for the number boost. Appreciate it, bot. What makes me sad is, like, there's some of these names of these bots are actually a little creative, so I wonder if it's hacked accounts.
Yeah.
If I'm reporting somebody's banned account, but I mean, when somebody reports you, you get an email.
Yeah. So
saying
it
that
can
you've
only
been
really
reported.
Be helpful. Yeah.
Obviously, this account's been sitting vacant for a very long time. Oh, thank you for your puke emoji, Worlds. I appreciate that. Oh, Ollie and his emotes. Jeez Louise. All right. Where were we at before we were rudely interrupted by a bot? Tesla described receiving rhythmic pulses that seemed almost intentional. They weren't random bursts of static. They repeated in patterns that caught his attention, and he openly wondered whether they could be coming from another intelligent civilization. To be clear, Tesla never claimed aliens were contacting him. He simply admitted that he couldn't explain what he was hearing with the scientific knowledge available at the time. And as the years passed, scientists probed far more ordinary explanations, including naturally occurring radio emissions from the Sun and Jupiter, atmospheric effects, or the interference of early electrical equipment. But once UFO researchers discovered Tesla's writings decades later, those mysterious signals began to become the first building block in what would eventually become the Black Knight legend. The next major piece arrived in the 1920s, and around this time, amateur radio operators began reporting a strange phenomenon known today as long delay echoes. Normally, when a radio signal bounces off the ionosphere, it returns almost instantly, but some operators claim their transmissions were returning several seconds later, far longer than anyone expected, and no one could fully explain why. Some researchers suggested unusual atmospheric conditions, others proposed reflections from distant clouds or charged particles surrounding the Earth. A few even considered more exotic possibilities, but then in the 1970s, Scottish science writer Duncan Lennon examined these delayed echoes and proposed something extraordinary. He suggested that hidden within the timing of the signals, there might be a message from an extraterrestrial probe located somewhere near Earth. At the time, it was a sensational idea. Newspapers loved it, but the problem was that Lennon himself would later retract the claim, explaining that his interpretation relied on assumptions that didn't hold up under further analysis. But by then, the story had taken a life of its own. Even today, countless websites still present his original theory as though it were an accepted fact, while rarely mentioning that he publicly withdrew it. And that pattern, an exciting claim followed by a much quieter correction, becomes a recurring theme throughout the Black Knight story. And by the middle of the 20th century, these separate mysteries were already beginning to merge into the public imagination. Tesla's unexplained radio signals, delayed radio echoes, and growing interest in life beyond Earth were slowly being woven together into a much larger narrative. But the biggest piece of the puzzle, the event that truly transformed the Black Knight from an obscure idea into a worldwide UFO legend, was still decades away. And it all began when mysterious objects started appearing on military radar during the tense early years of the Cold War. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oopsies. We don't want nighttime sounds. Get out of here, nighttime sounds. All right, so I set us up for a nice little mystery here. Any of this ringing a bell?
No, not at all.
So tell me, did your little antenna pop up when you heard Nikola Tesla?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know who Nikola Tesla is, but
I'm saying like the mystery around Nikola Tesla, did it?
he's just always got like mysterious things surrounding
Oh, absolutely.
him.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite things surrounding Nikola Tesla is his alleged recordings of hell. Have you heard those? So as we know, he was super fascinated with electricity, and he was always pointing his sensors skyward because his end game was to transmit electricity wirelessly. That's what he wanted to do, and that was his goal for humanity, was to have wireless electrical transmission so everybody can have electricity for free. And one night during a storm, there was excessive lightning in the clouds, and it was causing incredible interference with the radio and his sensors. So, on a whim, he pointed them down instead. And upon him pointing his sensors downward, he heard roaring of flames, people screaming, people crying. He could point out individual voices. We actually looked at the recording in season 1, and between Aeon and I, we couldn't figure it out. From being recorded in the late 1800s, it doesn't make sense.
Was Paul on that one or no?
No.
Man, I'd love to hear what Paul had to say.
But here's the really, really crazy part. You ready for this?
Ready.
So the deepest man-made hole was drilled. You know, it's only like a foot across, but it's drilled just straight into the earth, and it's in Russia. And before they sealed the shaft, they dropped the microphone down there. And the sounds that they pulled from the bottom of that hole, which is the deepest man-made hole on the planet, were almost exactly like the ones that Nikola Tesla picked up.
I can't imagine though that like I've never really thought of hell as like inside the earth.
I mean, traditionally speaking, if you look at like Dante's Inferno, it was literally in the earth. He entered hell through a cave and then traveled downward, and then...
Yeah. I just don't... I've never thought of it that way.
I've always thought of it that way for some reason.
I've thought of it more of like a spiritual plane outside of time and space.
Interesting. I always thought everybody just assumed it was in the earth. Because you always hear like the pits of hell, literally a physical pit of hell.
Yeah, no, I mean, it like logically speaking.
Maybe I'm too
sure.
literal.
No, I think, I mean, I can't imagine that there's really a lot of people out there who would agree with me, but I just think of it that way. And I think partially, I think it's because my mind can't reconcile what I know scientifically about the structure of the earth with like the faith that I have. So
Right.
I feel like it like I just can't, does not compute. Little lightning bolts going off hitting each other.
I mean, but think about it. We know the center of the Earth is molten, liquid
Sure,
molten
yeah.
lava, whatever, what have you.
Yeah.
Uh,
What happens when the sun explodes and destroys the Earth in however many millions of years?
you say
Does
what
hell,
happens?
Yeah, does hell just get destroyed too?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. But it's food for thought for sure.
No, I'm
never
only
thought about it that
laughing
way.
because I'm like, well, I mean, I guess they're probably pretty excited about that because they're like, okay,
Right?
it will be over.
Eternity, my ass. Just another 12 billion years. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting that the center of the Earth is molten lava, or whatever it is, and ancient texts, like in the Iliad or the Odyssey, hell is downward,
No, I mean,
and the further down
yeah.
you go, the hotter it gets. Technically,
Yeah, I think,
at a certain point, anyway. But
we were talking about literature that does, and most people talk about it that way. Like I said, I just think it just does not compute in my brain. Anyway, let's not get too far off track.
right. You want to do a bathroom break before we get into Act 2?
You can do a bathroom break.
All right, let's do a quick bathroom break, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and we'll be a couple liters lighter. Be right back. I pushed it because I really wanted
It was
you to.
filmed in 2023, apparently.
Yeah. You see, it. You're smiling. Stop laughing. Jeez, I've already had to say that I don't think my dream is real.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because you just admitted that you kind of pushed that a little bit with the sound, and the whole time you were doing it, I was like, I don't know if that's right.
Brazel initially gathered some of the material and took it back to his house. He showed it to his children. They tried to burn it. They tried to cut it. They tried to bend it. It wouldn't cooperate. Some of the material was described as thin, metallic, foil-like, but unlike foil. It couldn't be torn or permanently creased. You could crumple it into a ball and let go, and it would return to its original shape. It'll take you all our socials. You can email us at beyondshadowspodcast@gmail.com. The email's at the bottom of the screen. You can tell us anything you want to know. We're glad to read your story out on the podcast, and we'll talk about it, pick it apart, do whatever you want. Even if you don't want us to read it out, it's fine. We can mention things kind of sideways to keep your anonymity intact. How many times have we seen a traditional, illustration or depiction of an alien abduction? And there's always some type of craft. A beam of light comes down. Think of the scene from Fire in the Sky. Everybody's seen Fire in the Sky. Dude is cool. He's standing underneath the UFO. He gets blasted with the beam of light. He gets thrown back. He's paralyzed, and they suck him up with the beam of light. I can't tell you where this originates from. Poking his head through the window. Yeah. Fucking nightmare fuel. Absolutely nightmare fuel. So strange that we're seeing a barn owl in an area where they're not even supposed to be. I assumed it was a snow owl. I was wrong. So yeah, a weird parallel drawn between individual cases where people are saying they're seeing a barn owl and it's looking through their window, or they're seeing it outside, or it's in a place where they can see it clearly through their window, right? And not but moments.
Of course, it's still all,
Yeah.
you're not sure what to believe, right? But with that being said, this is the perfect opportunity for you to show your video if you want to do that.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. So I have an amazing video. Modern society internalizes it. We call it misinterpretation, cognitive bias, or environmental effect. We explain it through physics and psychology. But the outcome remains the same. A person stands at the edge of dark water. They hear something unusual, or they believe they do, and they focus on it. They move closer. And the difference between myth and modern report is mostly language.
BHEPH and a siren.
Potatoes, precious. What's potatoes, huh?
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Potato would have let me have her in my lap.
Yeah.
She absolutely
Potato
would have.
often sat right here with me when I was doing when I was doing streaming. Anyway.
Yeah.
Good old fat potato. All right. In some cases, phones recovered from shorelines. Hello, friends. We've returned.
Oh.
All right. So what is your what are you feeling about the Black Knight so far?
Don't know enough to know anything concretely yet.
You have like a knee-jerk reaction? Nothing?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Yeah, let me read the second act. Then I'll try to...
Well, let's fade some music out. Let's get into Act 2, everybody. All right, girl. You know what to do.
Act 2. The Cold War and the unknown satellite. I mean, that makes sense. Act 2.
Yeah. Cold War was special for the U.S.
Ooh, do we get to talk about Senator McCarthy also? Because that's around this time, right?
Maybe.
By the early 1950s, the world had entered the Cold War. For the record, Edward R. Murrow is my favorite journalist of all time, and was reporting during this time, too. Anyways, the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a technological race unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Every new aircraft, missile, and scientific breakthrough had military implications, and both superpowers were desperate to know what the other was doing. Against that backdrop, rumors began to spread that American tracking stations had detected something extraordinary. In 1954, newspapers reported that unidentified objects had been observed in orbit around the Earth. One of the most widely circulated stories came from retired U.S. Air Force Major Donald Kehoe, a former Marine Corps aviator and one of the most outspoken UFO researchers of the era. Kehoe claimed that Air Force sources had informed him the military was tracking not one, but two unidentified satellites circling Earth. There was just one problem. Humanity hadn't launched any satellites yet. The Soviet Union's Sputnik 1, recognized as the first artificial satellite, wouldn't reach orbit until October 1957. If something really had been circling the Earth in 1954, it would have been difficult to explain. The newspapers exploded with speculation. Some suggested the objects were secret Soviet technology years ahead of what the United States believed possible. Others wondered whether the U.S. military had secretly launched its own satellites without telling the public. UFO enthusiasts proposed a much more dramatic possibility that the objects weren't human at all. For believers, this became one of the strongest pieces of evidence supporting the Black Knight story. But when historians look back decades later, the picture became far less clear. Many researchers now believe these reports likely stemmed from misunderstandings involving classified military tracking programs, radar anomalies, or even confusion surrounding high-altitude balloon projects that were themselves highly secretive. During the Cold War, governments routinely withheld information for national security reasons. They don't do that anymore, creating an environment where speculation
that's
flourished.
just madness.
Another possible explanation involves something known as the Dark Moon Reports, a series of investigations made by amateur astronomers who believed they had spotted objects crossing the night sky that didn't match known celestial bodies. Most of these sightings were never independently confirmed, but they added fuel to an already growing mystery. Is this like where the inspiration for E.T. comes from? He's like, what? For E.T. when he's riding his little bicycle through the night sky?
Oh, yeah. They were thinking E.T. was the anomalies.
Yeah.
You know, there was
the dark moon.
There was a big flap during this time of a bunch of like random things in the sky. And it was about this time that we first heard something called the alternate Earth theory, that in the exact opposite side of our rotation around the sun was a second Earth. And they believed it to be true. Like, people thought they caught glimpses of it. So this was people were really looking upward at this time,
Okay.
paying attention to what was in the sky.
Now we look at our phones.
Yeah, now we look down to look upward. Ironic?
It's like we're being distracted on purpose.
Right? See, now you're on my wavelength.
Anyways, as the years passed, the separate stories began blending together. Tesla's radio signals, long delay echoes, reports of mysterious radar contacts, flames of unknown satellites. Each story was intriguing on its own, but together they created something much larger. The idea that humanity had been aware of unexplained objects orbiting the Earth long before the space age officially began. Then came another twist. In 1960, newspapers once again reported an unidentified object had been detected in polar orbit around the Earth. Polar orbits were unusual at the time because neither the United States nor the Soviet Union had publicly demonstrated the capability to place satellites into that type of orbit. Once again, headlines suggested that something impossible had been found. Today, many stories believe those reports are most likely tracking a classified American reconnaissance satellite from the Discoverer program, which is part of a highly secretive Corona spy satellite. Because the mission details were classified for decades, observers at the time had no way of knowing what they were actually seeing. It's one of those fascinating moments where the government secrecy may have unintentionally helped create a lasting conspiracy theory. When officials refuse to explain what people are observing, imaginations naturally fill the gaps. At the end of the 1960s, the legend had all the ingredients it needed. There were mysterious radio signals, unexplained echoes, rumors of impossible satellites, and decades of unanswered questions. The only thing missing was a piece of visual evidence, something people could actually point to and say, "There it is." The moment would finally arrive in 1998. Speaking of 1998, I've referenced that multiple times today, during a routine NASA space shuttle mission, when astronauts unknowingly captured one of the most famous and most controversial photographs in UFO history.
Cool. Yeah, I like this. Like, I think this is the length we need for the acts.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. It's just about right. It's not too long to get people to zone out, but enough that you get the gist of what's going on. So again, to reiterate, we're seeing a lot of people looking upward, listening, ironically, when we have nothing in the sky. And I think that's the most intriguing part of this investigation, is the fact that we don't have satellites. And despite the fact that we were trying to put something in the sky in the 1950s because of the Soviets, the space race. It was a big thing. We wanted to be the first ones to be in space. We just didn't have the technology to do it. So we were constantly monitoring what was in the sky because we were afraid that the Soviets were going to do it first. Sputnik made it to low Earth orbit first. We know this. We know all about Sputnik and that poor puppy dog. Don't be sad, because the puppy dog made it back into the Marvel universe. And he got superpowers. Did you not know?
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, he got superpowers and he lived. Don't worry. He lived. But he lived. Not bad. He lived. Marvel universe is real. Marvel universe is real. In that facet only. But no, we were definitely looking at the sky at the time. And it's really strange because we're getting tons and tons of anomalies. Things that were, to this day, we're not getting anything in the sky that's putting out a pulse like these things were putting out a pulse back in the 1950s. The signal we saw in the 1950s is not evident today. I think the closest we got was the WOW signal. You know about the WOW signal? You know about the WOW signal?
No, it's just doing a WOW signal.
I'll tell you why we call it the WOW signal. Hold on.
The wow signal. Woo. Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
So back when we were heavily monitoring the skies, we were using a lot of NORAD stuff, monitoring for signals that were not prevalent in nature. This signal was the only one in recorded human history to this day that was outside the rest of natural background radio signals from the sun, the surrounding stars, what have you. They literally, this was a transcription of the radio signal, and the guy reading this readout literally circled it and put wow next to it, and this is what has been called the wow signal. This is the closest thing to an artificial signal that we've heard in human history, with physical evidence. And this is why we call it the wow signal, because of the word wow. But I think if we were monitoring back in Nikola Tesla's time, we would see a very similar signal pattern.
Yeah.
There were correlations drawn between the wow signal and what Nikola Tesla recorded. You know, Tesla was only hearing the signal. This is a visual representation of the signal. The audio equivalent of this was allegedly the same as what Nikola Tesla heard. And this was a reciprocating audio signal in a pattern of 3.14159. You know what that is?
Oh.
Pi.
Oh, yeah, it's pi. It took me
Pi.
a second. As soon as you said it, I knew.
Yeah.
You didn't give me long enough. So let me ask you this. What does the 6-7 mean?
I don't know what freaking 6-7 means. I don't fucking know what 6-7 means.
It was on the thing. I couldn't pass it up. We actually
That's
really don't know what it means. We're too
separate
old.
6
but-
and a separate 7, not together.
There
Jeez.
was a 6-7 shirt at Walmart today
my
for
God.
adults. It was really funny.
Puke emoji. Ugh. 6-7 is so stupid.
I have asked the G word what that means, and she doesn't know either. So
Oh.
she gives some weird explanation that still doesn't really answer your question.
Yeah. The best explanation I've heard is it's like this generation's equivalent of weather.
See, I've not heard that. I've heard it's like so. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I maybe ripped
That's
that
all we got.
toenail.
We're too old to understand.
We'll get it in about 20 years when it's fully explained.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, I made my toenail bleed.
Oh no. You get your Band-Aid?
Nah, I'm fine. It'll be okay.
We have Squishmallow Band-Aid. We have Cat Picado.
Cat Picado. No, this is a toenail. So those of you that don't know, I have a habit of like yanking off my toenails when I'm bleeding. When I'm sitting here, and that one was
For
just
the record, pieces of it are still attached. So I'd be having a much different reaction.
I don't cut my toenails. I just rip them off when we podcast.
You know, there's going to be people who are going to be like, wow, that's really gross. I'm never listening to this again. But then there's going to be people who are like, that's my thing. I will listen to this forever.
I hope so. Stick around. Yeah. I didn't mean to make my toe bleed. It'll be all right. It'll stop here in just a second.
Given this podcast your blood, sweat, and tears.
Sorry, folks. I just don't cut my toenails. I just yank them off while we're podcasting. Eddie Hoots. Yeah, so wow signal, Nikola Tesla. We're seeing a correlation between that and what is in low Earth orbit at the time. Nobody, and here's the crazy thing, and they kind of brush it under the rug a little bit here by saying, oh, well, they could have been experimental satellites, but they never confirm. So at this point, at that age, 1950s, all the data from that era is available via Freedom of Information Act. The United States has never confirmed that we sent a satellite, but before the Soviets did.
I wonder if there's like a benefit though to, you know,
I mean,
moving in silence.
at this point,
Like,
what would be the benefit of not admitting it, right?
No, but
Because we've got millions of satellites in orbit.
yeah, but now is it kind of like if we say that it was us all these years later, like 70 years later, is it kind of like I was totally first in that race before he was? Like, you know,
Like there's
not
there's
a lot
still
of-
like a benefit to saying that we were first.
Because then it's like, well, if you were first and you didn't admit it then, now we're mad at you because you're liars. Because, you know, like, notoriously, we haven't been BFFs with Russia,
Yeah.
USSR.
USSR, jeez.
I'm just trying to reference all
No, I
of the
get
many
it.
names it has
No, I'm just
decided
saying
to
I'm
go
old.
by. I guess that's only 2 of the many names it's decided to go by the last. Yeah.
But no, I want to say that it's very strange that even this late in the game, we've never come out and said, yeah, that was one of our satellites, because we've talked about everything else that the United States government has done to try to beat the Soviets to space.
Yeah.
Everything short of them faking the moon landing, which we obviously know was faked. Yeah, one of these days, I'm going to blindside you with, oh, we're going to do a ghost investigation. And
But you
then,
did
boom,
tonight.
sit down. We're talking about how they faked the fucking moon landing.
Oh
One
my
of these
gosh.
days. We touched it in season 1, but as soon as I started talking about it, I'm standing up in my chair yelling like this, you could see Aeon and Paul's eyes just glassing over, and they're like, "Yep, let's get on to the next thing." I'm sorry, but I don't think we landed on the moon. I don't think we did.
I love you, but I disagree.
Let me put it this way.
I love you, but
Let me put it this way. All right. Up until 5 years ago, we didn't even have photographic evidence of the lunar lander on the moon. 5 years ago, what was it, like 15 years ago? We started Google Earth, and then when Google Earth released, a couple years later, we released Google Moon, which is the same thing. It's just for the moon, and you can scroll all around the moon and look at everything and zoom in and do what you want to do. But the landing site was never there. You couldn't see the lunar module and nothing up until just a few years ago. I'm sorry.
You just weren't looking in the right spot.
There's too many inconsistencies. All right, so think about it. I'm going to say this one last thing and we're going to move forward. Technologically speaking, India is a little bit ahead of us. Technologically speaking.
Okay.
They're technologically a little bit more advanced than we are. They're better in robotics. They're better at robotics than China. They sent that module to the moon. Have you seen the video?
No.
It looks like something worse than do you remember when you go online and try to watch a music video online and how it was like super pixelated, but it would still run? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was worse than that. Okay, so that was running at like 20 frames per second, right?
Yeah.
The newest lunar module was running at like 4 frames per second. And it looked like something somebody built in Blender. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was just so bad. Well, I'm sorry, but
I don't know.
another time. That's a conversation for another time. Yeah. But we didn't land on the moon. We ain't been there.
Could you show us this photograph, please?
Do you want to see the photos now, or do you want to see them after Act 3?
But we just talked about it a little bit.
So Act 3 is all about the photograph. So do you want to cover Act 3 first?
Yeah.
All right. We'll do Act 3 first. So this is Act 3, everybody. The photograph that changed everything. Act 3. There's one image responsible for turning the Black Knight satellite into a niche UFO story into a worldwide phenomenon. It's a photograph taken during a NASA Space Shuttle mission in December of 1998. The mission was STS-88, the first assembly flight to the International Space Station. Its primary objective was to connect the Russian-built Zara module to the American utility module, marking the beginning of what would eventually become the ISS. It was an incredibly busy mission. Spacewalks were performed, new hardware were installed, and astronauts spent hours working outside the shuttle in the vacuum of space. And during one of those spacewalks, a seemingly insignificant event occurred. A thermal insulation blanket became detached. Objects floating away from the spacecraft aren't unheard of, despite careful procedures, tools, gloves, covers, bolts, and pieces of insulation have occasionally drifted away during missions. NASA tracks this debris because anything orbiting Earth at thousands of miles per hour can become a serious hazard. And as the blankets slowly tumbled through space, several photographs were taken, and these photographs are the images you've most certainly seen online. At first glance, the object doesn't look like a blanket. It appears dark, metallic, oddly shaped, and almost mechanical, depending on the angle. Some people see wings, others see antenna, or a structured aircraft with sharp edges. Against the blackness of space, it's easy to understand why the photographs captured people's imagination. And then, the internet happened. So by the early 2000s, the images began circulating on UFO forums, websites, and eventually social media. Before long, captions started appearing alongside them. This is the Black Knight satellite. Quote, NASA accidentally photographed the alien probe, and quote, they know what it is, and quote, they've been covering it up for decades. For many people, the photographs seem to connect every previous piece of the legend. Suddenly, Tesla's mysterious radio signals, Cold War satellites rumors, and long delay echoes all appear to have a visual confirmation. But what does NASA say? According to NASA, the object in the photograph is the very thermal blanket that escaped during the mission. Mission records document the incident, and the blanket was cataloged as orbital debris after drifting away from the shuttle. The explanation is straightforward, yet for many believers, this isn't satisfying. They argue the object looks too rigid to be fabric. They point out the unusual shape and claim it appears engineered rather than flexible. Some also question whether a loose blanket could maintain such a structured appearance whilst tumbling through orbit. On the other hand, photographers and aerospace engineers had noted that the lighting in space can be extremely deceptive. Without an atmosphere, shadows become harsh. Depth perception disappears, and a crumpled object illuminated by direct sunlight can appear surprisingly solid. Add a telephoto lens, frozen motion, and a dark background, and it's easy for familiar materials to take on unfamiliar shapes. It's a reminder that photographs, no matter how striking, don't always tell the complete story. But what's fascinating is that both sides often look the exact same. What's fascinating is that both sides often look at the exact same image and come away completely convinced they're right. One person sees a discarded piece of insulation. Another sees humanity's first clear photograph of an extraterrestrial technology. Neither interpretation changes the image itself, only the story attached to it. And that's what makes the Black Knight satellite so enduring. It's not just about a photograph, it's about how easily our minds connect separate events into a single narrative when we're searching for answers. Still, for those who believe the Black Knight is real, the photograph is the only piece of the puzzle. They argue there are radar observations, decoded messages, astronomical calculations, and historical accounts that point towards something much older than the space age. So before we reach a verdict, we still have to examine the strongest evidence supporters say proves the Black Knight satellite is still just a myth. Isn't just a myth, excuse me, but an ancient machine that has been silently watching Earth for thousands of years. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, everybody out watching, if you haven't seen the Black Knight photos, close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Close them.
I'm gonna bring up these photos while your eyes are closed because I want to see your reaction. Oh, hold on. We're almost there. And I want you to open your eyes in 3, 2, 1.
It's a blanket.
That is not a blanket. That is not a blanket. It's not a blanket.
Reminds me of the towel from South Park. But black.
But here's the crazy thing. You want to know the really crazy thing?
Huh.
Since the 1990s, was it 98 when we first photographed it? It hasn't changed shape. It should have eventually moved, and that light-of-it object, if it were an insulation blanket, should have sunk to low Earth orbit and burned up in the atmosphere. It's still there today. Explain that. You know how the International Space Station stays in orbit? It constantly corrects its orbit. It's constantly pushing itself away through ion propulsion. Keep it away from the Earth's atmosphere. As soon as it touches the atmosphere, it burns up. So, this thing has been up there since the... I mean, we photographed it in the 90s, so at least the 90s. But this isn't the only one.
Okay.
There's actually a series of photographs, and I was only able to grab like 3 of them. So you want to see the rest of them?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Here's another. Still the same shape. Don't you do that. Don't do that to my dreams. Oh my gosh. This is why I podcasted alone.
I'm sorry. Now that you shouldn't have read Act 3 before you showed me the pictures, because now that they've said blanket, it's all I see. And so now I'm just picturing this little blanket floating up there.
But when we say blanket, it's not like you think a blanket. All right? It's not like a piece of fabric like hanging on the back of your chair.
I know. It's now I'm just picturing this little tiny blanket like
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is that the song it's singing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Could I have another beer? I wasn't gonna, but I am now.
I'm driving him to drink.
Oh gosh. All right, we got one more. Before you crush my dreams.
Now that looks less like a blanket to me, okay? Because it's got the little tail sticking out. It actually it's like a whale with one of those spinny hats on its head and a tail.
Do you want to see the artist interpretation of what they think the Black Knight satellite looks like?
I would love to see the artist.
All right, don't look over here. Don't look over here. Look away. Look over there. Look over there for just a minute. Yep, that's the sound people minding their own business makes. All right, let me zoom out a little bit here. All right. Submitted to you the approval of the Midnight Society. This is an artist interpretation of the Black Knight satellite.
It's an artist interpretation.
Artist interpretation. I'm not crazy about this image. This is the one that has caught the most recent generation on the Black Knight conspiracy theories. Because it does have characteristics of a thermal blanket, but this is the first and this is the image, the first image we saw, which is the first image sent back to Earth and the most clear of the profile. This one has it facing the sun. I'm assuming somebody made this with AI.
Probably.
Do you want to do an experiment?
Kind of experiment.
Do you want to run one of the images through AI and see what it can come up with?
Guess we could.
Okay, let's do that. Give me just a second. I gotta set this up. I don't want to put all my information out here. All right. We'll close some windows here. And I can share this screen. I got ChatGPT up. I pulled up the first image of the Black Knight that we have, the most popular image. What do you want me to ask? To clean up the image, give me a close-up image of it, and
Yeah, give me a detailed close-up image of this object.
with as much detail as you can manage. Let's see what happens. I have no idea what to expect here. It could come up with something wild, like an anime girl dancing next to a pizza. I don't know.
Sure, it could.
But I'm just curious because I want to know. This is what everybody else is going to do. They're going to pump it through AI, clean up the image, right? So we had tried this on previous extraterrestrial episode earlier in season 1. Oh, okay. Wow.
Very sparkly, very Star Trek-y.
It is
I
very.
feel like I'm in the 80s.
It feels like
Like we bedazzled everything, including the spaceship.
I wouldn't call it a thermal blanket.
Looks like a leaf bag.
I hate to say that it does look like a bag, but
I mean, it would make sense because humans are so trashy and disgusting that we would just have trash floating around outside of our planet. Like, imagine you're an alien and you're just coming up to the place and it's just got trash floating
trash
out
floating
of
all
orbit.
around it. Oh God, no! Don't go over there. You should get stolen. Your alien wheels will get stolen. I hate to admit it, but it does give a thermal blanket vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if it knows what the image is, and so it kind of translated it in the eyes of a thermal blanket.
Might have.
AI is very advanced. Don't bat an eye at AI because
Don't
as
bat
soon
an
as
eye
you do,
at
don't bat an
AI.
eye. Yeah, as soon as you do, you're gonna underestimate it. Because I'm pretty sure there's no duct tape on it. I'm pretty sure that NASA doesn't use duct tape on anything.
I don't know. Duct tape is supposed to be the best.
Well, in order for the adhesives to work, we need oxygen.
I'm pretty sure duct tape is the jam.
Well, you couldn't use duct tape in space.
Probably duct tape floating around in space.
I'm sure there is. But I don't 100% agree with this interpretation because it just feels like a trash bag floating in space with a couple pieces of duct tape on it.
Let the aliens know they're in a bad neighborhood.
I know, right? I'm losing this argument really quickly, aren't I? Oh, geez. Oh, geez.
I don't fault you for what AI did to the image.
No, it's AI. You can't trust it. Can't trust it. You can't trust it.
Can't trust it.
He's Louise. Oh my gosh. All right then.
Ooh, I've repositioned myself, so I'm like real close to this other screen down here
you're
now,
way
which
over
is
there.
really nice. I don't know how I ended up doing it. Our house is kind of off kilter, so sometimes I go this way.
Oh yeah,
sometimes
the
I go
floor
that way.
slants this way.
Yeah.
It looks fine on camera because the camera is level with the floor.
But one of these days, the whole thing's just gonna fall in.
It's not that bad. They fixed the
Hopefully.
foundation. They just
Hopefully
didn't
we
fix
won't be
anything
live.
else.
Hopefully we won't be live when that happens.
No.
Although maybe we'll go viral then, and we'll have like a bunch of viewers if we survive it.
Maybe somebody will feel sorry for us in our lean in ass house,
Yeah.
and somebody will drop a couple 100,000 in chat.
Yeah.
So there's a trend going around, and I'm not saying go and do it, but try it. Maybe if you're in the right frame of mind. People are sending, like Elon Musk, requests for money on PayPal, and they say I need $7,158 to pay off my student loans, and there's been over a dozen verified accounts of him sending people money.
Wow.
So I'm like, should I send him a request?
Figure out how much more you own your car. Let's do it.
I'm wondering like if we say, hey, just pop into chat on our podcast, please.
Yeah.
Because this is the only way I know to like get a direct message
Like,
to Elon
send him
Musk.
a request for $1 and then pop into our chat. I don't really want him to be on our podcast, though. Here's the thing. I really don't.
Okay.
You can have it, but I won't be here for that.
But it's a trend. Like it's all over
I
social
think it's
media.
great that he's got a lot of money, but I'm not his biggest fan.
Like it's funny though that the one person you wouldn't expect is the one giving money away to people.
I don't know that I think it's great that he's got a lot of money. I feel like I should take that back. Look at that ghost. Ooh. Okay. Act 4.
Are you ready for Act 4?
I'm ready for Act 4.
Okay, let's do Act 4 then. Let me fade some music out.
Maybe AJ McLean from Backstreet Boys will get on our podcast and be like, I heard y'all were talking smack about my hairline.
I'm sure he's struggling like we are. He couldn't afford freaking Twitch. He couldn't afford it.
Lord. He probably can now. Anyway,
Maybe.
Act 4. The case for an ancient alien probe, Act 4. You ask someone who believes the Black Knight satellite is real, what convinces them the most? Chances they won't point to just one piece of evidence. Instead, they'll present a collection of stories that taken together seem too remarkable to dismiss, except the AI photos. The argument isn't just that one photograph proves everything. It's that dozens of strange events over more than a century all seem to point in the same direction. The most famous of these claims is the idea that the object has been orbiting Earth for over 13,000 years. That's the astonishing number, but where did it come from? Surprisingly, there isn't a scientific paper or government report that establishes this gap. The figure appears to have evolved over time through books, magazine articles, and UFO literature, eventually becoming accepted within the legend itself. Today, it's one of the most frequently repeated facts about the Black Knight satellite, even though no one can point to evidence that actually dates an object in orbit to that age, which means We can't use that part. Then there's the story of Duncan Lunan. As we mentioned earlier, Lunan analyzed the long delay echoes in the 1970s that proposed the delayed radio signals might contain a coded star map. He suggested that the message originated from the direction of the Epsilon Boötis? How do you...
Yeah, it's an umlaut, so it's German. Blotzus. Blottis.
So I used to tutor someone, and sometimes we would read things that I'd only read silently before, never heard read aloud. And, you know, when you don't know how to pronounce something, you've only read it in your head, you might get it wrong. And I definitely do not know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. It's a star system, and it's roughly 50 light years away. And that it had been transmitted by an extraterrestrial probe waiting near Earth. So this message had originated from that star system, according to Lunan. Are you looking up the pronunciation?
Yeah, I'm trying. Come on. Jump to Google Lens for some reason. Why is it going to Lens? I went to Translate. Go ahead, I'll catch up.
I mean, I need you to scroll is the problem.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. Get on to Lunan. Lunan later withdrew his interpretation, explaining that he believed his calculations and assumptions were incorrect. He didn't discover proof of alien communication. He explored an idea, published it, and later decided it didn't hold up. That correction, however, never became as famous as the original headline. What? Another frequently cited point involves reports from amateur satellite trackers. Over the years, some observers have claimed that they've detected objects that don't appear in publicly available satellite catalogs. Why am I picturing those three dudes from the X-Files sitting in their basement listening to all this stuff?
The lone gunman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally, unidentified objects are spotted, but unidentified doesn't mean extraterrestrial. Space is increasingly crowded with classified military payloads, inactive satellites, discarded rocket stages, and thousands of pieces of orbitable debris. Orbital debris? I guess that would be true too, but orbital debris.
That was Epsilon Buddhist, by the way. Orbita-bibbidi-boo. Yes.
Not every subject is immediately identified, and some remain intentionally undisclosed for national security reasons. Supporters also point to the sheer longevity of the legend itself. The story has survived for generations. It has persisted through changing technology, different governments, and countless investigations. For some, that's evidence that there must be something behind it. Legends don't survive because they're true. They survive because they are compelling. The Bermuda Triangle, Atlantis, the Philadelphia experiment have all endured for decades because they combine mystery with unanswered questions. The Black Knight satellite fits that same pattern perfectly. It draws together real historical events, genuine scientific mysteries, and a healthy dose of speculation into a single narrative that's almost impossible to forget. That doesn't mean every question has been answered. There are still unexplained radar reports from the early space age. There are still unusual astronomical observations that continue to be debated. And there are still photographs that spark arguments every time they're shared online. Whether those mysteries are connected is another question entirely. As investigators, that's the distinction we always try to make on this show. It's one thing to acknowledge that the strange events occurred. It's another to conclude that they all share the same extraordinary explanation. And that brings us to a final question. After more than a century of rumors, photographs, radio signals, military reports, and internet speculation, does the evidence actually support the existence of an ancient alien satellite, or have we been watching the birth of one of the greatest modern legends ever told? I don't know if we could say greatest, but...
Pretty close.
a legend.
A legend.
A long-living legend.
Well, okay. Before we get into those thoughts, do a quick bathroom break and get this puppy. It's basil time, everybody.
Basil bass drop.
We're gonna get ready for your basil bass drops, folks. Basil's coming. We're gonna use the bathroom, and the puppy will be back with us. So hold the phone. We're gonna break down Acts 1 through 4. We get into Act 4. We get into Act 5, and we're getting close to predictions. Everybody, hold the phone. Here we go. I pushed it because I really wanted
It was
you to.
filmed in 2023, apparently.
Yeah. You see, it. You're smiling. Stop laughing. Jeez, I've already had to say that I don't think my dream is real.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because you just admitted that you kind of pushed that a little bit with the sound, and the whole time you were doing it, I was like, I don't know if that's right.
Brazel initially gathered some of the material and took it back to his house. He showed it to his children. They tried to burn it. They tried to cut it. They tried to bend it. It wouldn't cooperate. Some of the material was described as thin, metallic, foil-like, but unlike foil. It couldn't be torn or permanently creased. You could crumple it into a ball and let go, and it would return to its original shape. It'll take you all our socials. You can email us at beyondshadowspodcast@gmail.com. The email is at the bottom of the screen. You can tell us anything you want to know. We're glad to read your story out on the podcast, and we'll talk about it, pick it apart, do whatever you want. Even if you don't want us to read it out, it's fine. We can mention things kind of sideways to keep your anonymity intact. How many times have we seen a traditional, illustration or depiction of an alien abduction? And there's always some type of craft, a beam of light comes down. Think of the scene from Fire in the Sky. Everybody's seen Fire in the Sky. Dude is cool. He's standing underneath the UFO. He gets blasted with the beam of light. He gets thrown back. He's paralyzed, and they suck him up with the beam of light. I can't tell you where this originates from. Poking his head through the window. Yeah. Fucking nightmare fuel. Absolutely nightmare fuel. So strange that we're seeing a barn owl in an area where they're not even supposed to be. I assumed it was a snow owl. I was wrong. So yeah, a weird parallel drawn between individual cases where people are saying they're seeing a barn owl, and it's looking through their window, or they're seeing it outside, or it's in a place where they can see it clearly through their window, right? And not but moments.
Of course, it's still all,
Yeah.
you're not sure what to believe, right? But with that being said, this is the perfect opportunity for you to show your video if you want to do that.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. So I have an amazing video. Modern society internalizes it. We call it misinterpretation, cognitive bias, or environmental effect. We explain it through physics and psychology. But the outcome remains the same. A person stands at the edge of dark water. They hear something unusual. Oh, everybody, Basil's here. Say hello to the interwebs.
Hello.
Over there.
Oh.
Microphone? He knows I have a bone in my pocket. What a mom.
Oh.
He gets so excited when he knows there's a bone nearby. He knows. Okay, it's fine. Here you go, bud. He got his bone. Yeah. Get our headphone cable. Ah. He's just holding it. Oh my gosh. Oh geez, where's our... Hold on, we can't hear anything. There we go, we got sounds now. Basil's here, everybody. Basil's... Let's get a Basil bass drop.
My legs are all scratched.
He's very excited. He's very excited.
Remind me to wear long pants next time.
Yes. That's him down there chewing on his bone right now. He's a good boy. One of these days we'll get a puppy camera down here without giving away images of our feet for free.
Yeah. I don't want to give this away for free.
All right. So 1 through 4, we've really set some things up. Personally, I'm seeing a lot more unexplained things than I am explained things. It seems like they're very loosely grasping at straws here, that they're doing their very best to explain something they can't explain.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like to me. A lot of question marks. You know, even if they are in air quotes, there's a lot of question marks. That we've seen some photo evidence, but I'm still kind of on the fence. I'm going to let you kind of take it away for just a second while I set up our prediction for tonight.
Oh, are you doing that? Because I don't know. Do we have anybody who's going to participate?
Even if nobody participates, that's okay. I'm still going to set it up.
Because Worlds might be asleep.
If Worlds is asleep, that's totally fine. Worlds, are you asleep? I don't mean to yell.
James is on.
We got a couple people in YouTube land. We got 2 people in YouTube. If you guys are interested in participating, what we're going to do now is set up our prediction. Predict whether we think the case is going to come out as paranormal or not paranormal, and the majority vote gets the rule. So, we won't make our decision until the end of Act 5. But we'll give everybody in chat 5 minutes on Twitch to make a prediction.
And then if you're on YouTube, you can tell us what your prediction is.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube, you can just type into chat, and you're typing into chat from YouTube will count towards the prediction. But
you'll get a bunch of imaginary.
But if you're on Twitch and you participate in the prediction, if you predict correctly whether we decide that this is paranormal or not paranormal, then you get channel points.
Your dick feet.
Unfortunately, those of you guys on YouTube, you won't get anything for participating per se, but
you'll get imaginary points.
Yeah.
And we discussed this earlier. We're millennials. We know how to use our imagination, so they're even better.
Exactly. Yeah, you get like mixtapes points. So I'm going to start the, I wish we could do like 7 minutes. That'd be perfect. So we're going to start the prediction. What would the decision be? Absolutely paranormal or not paranormal? Those of everybody in chats in Twitch is allowed to participate.
YouTube gets fax machine points.
Yeah, YouTube gets fax machine points. So I'm going to start the prediction now. And everybody in Twitch chat, it's 5 minutes to vote whether tonight's case of the Black Knight is really paranormal or not. And again, the majority vote gets the rule tonight. So everybody gets a say, whether you're in Twitch, YouTube, what have you. If you're listening at a later time, if you want to catch this, we're live every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Worlds is still awake.
Worlds is still awake. If you're watching this at a later time and you want to participate live, you're welcome to join us every weekend. We're live every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch us on Twitch, YouTube, what have you. Twitch is the place to be because there's tons of ways you can interact with chat and physically be part of the investigation. Poor Worlds. So we're going to start the prediction. Everybody in chat and Twitch is welcome to participate. Majority vote gets the rule. That's the new standard. So prediction is live. You got 5 minutes from this point forward.
Yeah.
So get excited. Get excited. We'll look at that once it's time. So we've come down to Act 5. Act 5. We got Basil with us. He's our our decision breaker. He's really good at deciding one way or the other.
He's busy right now, but he's listening.
He's listening. Yeah. Well, all right, let's dive off into Act 5. Let's wrap this thing up, and we're going to see where we're going to land tonight. So this is Act 5, everybody. Act 5, verdict. Mystery, myth, or something more. So after more than a century of stories, where does that leave us? Let's go back to the original claim. Is there credible evidence that an artificial object built by an extraterrestrial civilization has been orbiting the Earth for 13,000 years? Based on everything that's publicly available today, the answer is no. There's no verified tracking data showing an object. No government has produced evidence of an alien satellite. No astronomer has documented a mysterious body that defies explanation, and no space agency has acknowledged discovering anything that matches the legend. But that doesn't mean every piece of this story is false. Nikola Tesla really did report receiving unusual radio signals during his early experiments. Long delay echoes are a real phenomena that researchers have studied for decades, and newspapers genuinely reported mysterious satellites before the space age had fully begun. And the famous STS-88 photographs were absolutely taken during a real NASA mission. Those are the ones we looked at in Act 3. Those events happened. The question is whether they're connected. When you examine the evidence individually, each mystery has a plausible explanation. Tesla was working at the dawn of radio science. Long delay echoes likely have natural or atmospheric causes that are still being researched. The early satellite reports can largely be explained by Cold War secrecy and classified reconnaissance programs, despite the fact that all of that is public knowledge today, and there's been no... Just saying. And the STS-88 photographs are well documented as showing a thermal insulation blanket, if that's what you think it is, that escaped during the mission. Separately, each explanation is reasonable, but together, however, they create something far more powerful than a single mystery. They create a story. And humans are storytellers. We're remarkably good at finding patterns, even when those patterns don't actually exist. Sometimes that instinct helps us make groundbreaking discoveries. Other times it allows completely unrelated events to become woven into a narrative that's almost impossible to separate once it takes hold. Black Knight satellite may be one of the greatest examples of that phenomenon in modern paranormal history. It isn't built on a one lie or one hoax. It's built on dozens of real events, misunderstood reports, speculative theories, incomplete information, and decades of retelling. And every time someone repeated the story, another layer was added. Eventually, the legend became so polished that many people assumed that it always existed exactly as they heard it. To me, it is what makes this case so fascinating. Even if the Black Knight satellite isn't an alien probe, its story reveals something just as interesting: how modern myths are born. It also reminds us that government secrecy, sensational headlines, and our natural curiosity can combine to create legends that outline the events that inspire them. Could there still be unknown objects orbiting Earth? Absolutely. Thousands of pieces of debris remain untracked for periods of time, classified satellites exist, and new discoveries are made regularly as our technology improves. But space is a busy place, and we're still learning more about it every year. But based on the evidence we're exploring tonight, there isn't a convincing reason to conclude that an extraterrestrial machine has been silently watching humanity for the last 13,000 years. Still, I have a feeling this won't be the last time the Black Knight satellite makes headlines. Because every few years, someone discovers that famous photograph, hears the legend for the first time, and asks the exact same questions we've been asking all night. What if they're wrong? And maybe that's the real reason the story has survived for so long. Not because it proves aliens are out there, but because it keeps us looking up. Okay. So we've hit the end of Act 5. We've done it. We've come to the end. We've come to the end.
And Basil.
And Basil is very happily chewing his bone down there.
How far he's got? There's the shell of one down here from last week.
Yeah.
Got to throw that away.
I think he's beginning to enjoy Sunday nights because he gets a fresh bone.
Yeah.
I've always loved this story, but I have to say it's not paranormal. I wish it was, though.
Ah, geez. Yeah, thanks, James. I appreciate you chiming in. That's one vote for not paranormal. I'll let you go first. Do you want me to go first?
It's a space blanket. It's a space
It is not a space blanket.
It's a space blanket.
I was really hoping you'd be on my side tonight.
I love you.
I love you too, but
Space blanket. What did we say?
yeah, I can't be mad because this is probably what's playing in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think it's Space Blanket?
Space blanket.
Okay. Even though it's been up there for many, many years.
Yeah.
And it hasn't sunk into the low Earth orbit enough to get sucked in by the atmosphere and burn up?
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's just like Bill Nye the Science Guy. Like that's what's happening up there.
So there were reports. The most recent trip to the moon, the orbit of the moon. They saw the Black Knight. It's still there. As of 2026, it's still there. Which defies most explanation because at this point, being out there since the 90s, it should have been pulled into orbit or pulled into the atmosphere and burned up by now. Just saying, without an obvious means of propulsion, there's no way to keep it in orbit. Because maybe you don't understand this part.
He said, maybe you are too dumb.
No. Maybe you don't
that.
understand how low Earth orbit works. So technically, low Earth orbit is still part of the atmosphere. Not fully in space. We're in that fine little space in between the atmosphere and full-blown outer space. Because once you're in outer space, you're just going to drift away. You're going to be affected by gravity.
But you know what's not going to happen to you?
What's that?
You're not going to get cold because there's a blanket up there.
But here's the thing, is everything that we launch into space, even the International Space Station... Oh. I knocked off one of my keycaps. Always doing this. I'm always knocking off a keycap. Even the International Space Station constantly has to correct its orbit to push it further away from the planet because eventually everything is going to get pulled in by the gravity of Earth and burn up in the atmosphere as it re-enters Earth. So most new satellites, like for instance Starlink, they have what's called an ion propulsion where it can collect solar power and use ion propulsion to keep it in orbit. So these satellites have a propulsion system to keep them in orbit. So if there's not something constantly pushing it away, it's eventually going to get sucked into Earth because of gravity. All right? There's no obvious means of propulsion for a thermal blanket. So how has it stayed in orbit since 98? Magic is not a valid magic is not a valid argument.
The ghost of that poor puppy is keeping that blanket up there.
It's not a ghost. He's real. He's in the Marvel Universe.
I mean, I'm laughing because I think it's just because I don't want to cry because that story always makes me really sad. Super, super sad. Oh, it's still dinging.
Yeah, I know. I'm not using the mouse anyway. We can unplug that. No. You say no. It's not paranormal.
Not paranormal.
submitted to you for the approval of the Midnight Society. Clearly, it's a UFO. I'm going to say that it's something extraterrestrial because there's no means of propulsion. Eventually, it would have been sucked into the atmosphere and burned up. Eventually. It's simple science. It's simple science. You got to have a means of propulsion to keep it from being pulled into the planet and burning up in the atmosphere. There is no means of propulsion. It's been up there for 13,000 years. And, well, unofficially 13,000 years, but there's a lot of, like, parallels that I can't help but overlook. So I'm going to say this is really paranormal.
See what worlds voted.
What did you say, Worlds?
That you can see in the thing.
Oh, yeah. Let's pull up the votes. Let's see. One vote for absolutely paranormal.
I think that's worlds.
All right, so we got my vote for paranormal.
Worlds?
I'm assuming it's World's vote. Oh no, there's 2 votes.
Oh, 2 votes
We
for
got
paranormal.
2 votes for paranormal on chat. So that's 3 votes for
Me
paranormal.
and James are the only ones that are not
And
paranormal,
then
so
you
you
and James
win.
say not paranormal. So tonight, on Beyond the Shadows podcast, we have determined that the Black Knight satellite
You gotta choose the outcome.
is truly paranormal.
That is
They
absolutely
get their
paranormal.
There it is.
Yay!
We've done it. Finally, the paranormal squad has done it.
Although I do suppose that if it is the dog keeping the blanket up there, then it technically is paranormal.
Yeah, because he's a Marvel dog. He's got superpowers now. So it's the dog wrapped in the blanket.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Absolutely paranormal. So we did it. One of my favorites going way, way, way back since the 90s. I think it was like growing up, hearing reports and seeing the photos. Because as a kid, like I watched sightings. I was a huge fan of sightings. And I was always going to the website.
You click see details, sorry, before you continue, where it says at the top see details, where it says 255, go to Worlds of Confusion, CD. Oh, half voted.
Worlds of Confusion and half voted paranormal.
Cool.
Hi,
Hi, half.
Thanks for the vote, half. I didn't think you were here tonight.
Half Victus was just really hoping that you guys would play that cat video game this weekend if you're still listening.
The cat post office game yesterday, of course. Yeah, now I got to go to bed early because work tomorrow, but maybe next weekend. It's fine. Totally fine. Welcome, Hef. Glad you're here. Glad you're here, buddy.
All right, you were talking about watching sightings. I just wanted to know who else.
No, yeah, it's cool. So, like, I grew up watching sightings, and I would go to the website all the time. And part of the thing with the website was there was just pages and pages and pages of news about, UFOs and stuff going on. I remember seeing NASA released photos of an unknown object, and I remember seeing this photo in '98, going to my public library because they had good internet. They had DSL.
Yeah.
Back when DSL was the thing. And seeing that photo, let me pull it up one more time. Seeing this photo as a kid in '98 just blew me away. Because photo evidence of something that could be a UFO?
Did you For the library computers, were they set up the way mine were, where you had like a person here and then you had a piece of wood and another person here?
Yes, that's exactly
So
how it was.
Did you like lean over and go, hey man, look at this thing?
No, it was that. It had like a piece of like plywood dividing us,
Yeah.
but it was like 3 computers and then like a little space, and then there would be like 3 computers somewhere else, and then like 5 computers over there, and then like 3 computers and like 2.
Yeah.
And I would always pick like the one with 2 computers, so I'd be a little more isolated, because it's like the urinal rule for men is you don't ever use the urinal next to somebody unless there's no other place to go.
Oh, the toilet stall rule for women is the same way.
Okay, yeah. So same thing in my town growing up was you didn't go to the public library and use the computer next to somebody. You would always try to keep a space in between.
So the 2 public libraries I've worked at in my life, they both had the same thing where it was just like a row of computers. Computers are on this side, people are on this side, right? And then computers back up to the other one. So you could like stand over top and look at somebody if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
But then wooden slats between all of them, and it was like 8 on one side and 8 on the other side. They were all together. And that was true for a library in Virginia, and that was true for a library in Arkansas. They were the same setup. It was really...
I wonder, I'm just curious. Can I pull up my public library from when I was a kid?
You don't have that as any passwords or anything?
No, I mean, I just want to see it. It's been a long time. No, I don't want that. Ooh, can't type. Oh, it's changed. It's not... Yeah, different name now. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
No,
Okay.
they don't have wooden slats anymore, I see. More like a cubicle.
Let me grab OBS. Hold on.
Is that really what it looks like on the outside? It looks like a house.
That was a connecting building. I don't know if is it changed? I don't know that this is the right library. No, that's Southgate. 'Cause that was... Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta figure out where I am. Okay, so this is BASF. Yep. I need to see satellite view. Oh, wow. It's changed a lot. Oh, they still got the park there. Yeah, that's the library I used to go to. For sure. So I don't remember this. I really don't. But, I mean, that's inside it. For sure.
Yeah.
That was always there, the tree. Like, I really don't remember the old house attached to it. Maybe I feel like, yeah, like this is the door I remember going in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, because they used
more
to have a bike
library,
rack
yes.
right here. They must have bought, like, the property in front of it. Because I do think I remember seeing the house there. But it was, like, in front of the municipal building. They must have bought the building in front of it and then connected it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, see the bike rack's still there.
Aww.
That was my spot. That was where I used to go.
So where you had your first discovery
Yeah.
of the Black Knight.
Yeah. This is the spot. There it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you just leaned right over to the person sitting next to you and you went, hey, check this out. This out. It would have been a very non-characteristic thing of you to do.
Yeah, so this building was always in front. And I'm guessing like the city bought it.
Yeah.
and connected to, because directly behind it was the library. Yeah, see, look at that. They connected it. It used to be just this building. Yeah, fun times. Huh.
Fun times.
And then me and my buddy Reed, we would go down here and go to the park and get in trouble for skating all the time. But back in the day, wow, there's a solar farm there. Back in the day, there used to be a coal plant here. Yeah, see, there's the power plant. So right here, there used to be a wall, and this used to be a park.
Oh.
And we would go to the park, and like this used to be a coal plant.
Yeah.
And we would go to the park, and like little bits of coal would go over the wall, separating the park from the coal plant. And we would find these huge pieces of coal. And I was like, this isn't coal. This can't be coal. It was so weird. It was so weird growing up. All right, folks. Well, we've done it.
We've done it.
We've done it. We've decided that the Black Knight is really paranormal based on majority vote. Because it is paranormal.
Scariest blanket in the land.
That's right. Be afraid of the blanket. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. Thank you, James. Thank you, Worlds. Thank you, Hef. We didn't see Blip tonight.
Thank you, Basil, for being here tonight.
Thank you, Basil, for being here. Basil's down here, still chewing on the husk of a bone. He's having a good old time. Thank you, Hazel, for being here.
Aw, thank you, Victus, for
Thanks for tolerating my craziness.
Thanks for tolerating my silliness.
No, you're totally fine compared to me. But thanks, everybody. We did have an unspoken viewer on YouTube. Thanks for watching. If anybody has an idea for a future episode or your own paranormal tale, case, or claim, feel free to email us at beyondshadowspodcast@gmail.com. The email has been above us this entire time. Up here and just above us in the corner here. You can also scan this lovely QR code above my head, and it will give you a link to all of our socials. So the last time somebody submitted their own paranormal tale, I told my chainsaw story.
Mm-hmm.
And the standing offer is if anybody were to submit their own paranormal tale, case, or claim, I will tell my 3 scratches story. So I was actually physically attacked by a spirit, and I have photos to back it up.
Oh.
But I'm holding on to it until somebody else submits their own stories.
I could tell my Ouija board story.
Sure, yeah.
After you tell your scratch story.
But until then, we're waiting. We are waiting. I do want to give a quick shout out to Dreaded Zombie for following us 6 days ago. I got your notification while I was at work. Thanks, Dreaded Zombie. Appreciate your follow. That was a follow on Twitch. Thanks, Dreaded Zombie. You the best. You the best. Let's give a you the best to Dreaded Zombie for following. Right here.
You the best.
So with that being said, we're going to wrap this thing up, folks. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. Thanks for tolerating my insanity. I didn't have to bust out the the tinfoil hat tonight.
You did not.
What are you thinking for next week?
I'd like to do a ghost next week.
Okay.
Promise me a ghost this week, and I like ghosties.
How do you feel about the Winchester house?
Okay.
Let's do it. Next week, we'll do the Winchester house. So those of you watching tonight, you're welcome to join us next week. Every Sunday, we're live, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to investigate the Winchester house next weekend. So be here. And we will do this in full investigation. Everybody's going to have so much fun. So much fun.
I did my finger guns at you because it's the Winchester house.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I get it. I get it.
time for me to go to bed.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. We got a little bit of a closing monologue to hit before we get out of here. And thanks again, everybody, for being here tonight. Thanks for making my dreams come true with the podcast. Thanks for not making fun of me for my bedazzled, benephilimmed web or microphone. We're just trying to have fun. That's it. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. Let's hit this closing monologue. We're going to get the hell out of here so everybody can go to bed at a decent hour. All right, let's set this thing up. Let's set it up. The Black Knight satellite is one of those stories that perfectly captures why we love exploring the paranormal. It starts with real history, mixes in with genuine mystery, adds a little government secrecy, a famous photograph, and a few unanswered questions. And before you know it, you've got a legend that's been passed around the world for decades. Whether you believe there's something extraordinary hiding in Earth's orbit, or you think the entire story is a fascinating example of how modern myths are created, one thing is certain. It's got us asking questions. At the end of the day, that's what the show is all about. We don't claim to have all the answers, and we're certainly not here to tell you what to believe. Our job is to dig into the evidence, separate fact from fiction where we can, and leave just enough mystery for you to make up your own mind. So, what do you think? Is the Black Knight satellite nothing more than a collection of coincidences and misunderstood events? Or is there something up there that humanity hasn't fully explained? Let us know what you think in the comments or in chat or over in our... Well, we don't have public Discord. We genuinely love hearing your theories, and if you enjoyed tonight's investigation, be sure to follow the podcast wherever you're listening. Leave us a review if you haven't already, and share the episode with someone who loves a good mystery. Until next time, if you find yourself blasting off into the upper atmosphere on a space shuttle, and you see something that looks like it could be a spacecraft or a satellite, don't panic. Don't fret. Pull out your phone. Take pictures. But whatever you do, make sure you follow us beyond the shadows. Good night, everybody.
Sweet dreams, worlds.
Good night, worlds. Get some sleep.
Ever die.
And this monster starts running right at me.
Annihilated by nuclear bombs.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
Oh, you're crazy.
But I saw that monster too. All I want is for someone to believe me.
Contaminated.
Space.